AI tutors, your next speaking partner? That's a question on pretty much every language learner's mind right now. Could an AI really be your go-to for practice? We're going to dig into what the research says, not just for students, but for how teachers can use this tech to help everyone improve their speaking.
Oh man, you know that feeling, right? You've got all the words right here in your head, but then you open your mouth to speak and nothing, especially when someone's listening. That fear of messing up, it's probably the biggest wall we hit when learning a new language. So what if you could just get rid of that pressure completely?
And that's where our new challenger steps into the ring, AI. Suddenly, there's this explosion of tools that promise to be your personal, tireless, and maybe most importantly, non-judgmental speaking partner. So, is this the knockout punch for human tutors? Can AI really replace them? Well, as you'll see, there's a lot more to this story.
Okay, so before we go any further, we need to be clear on what we're even talking about. This isn't just, a voice memo app on your phone. We're talking about human-AI interaction for speaking. It's basically technology that lets you have a simulated conversation where the AI isn't just a passive listener. No, it's actively analyzing what you say and giving you feedback in real time.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at how an AI tutor actually scores you. A tool like Speechace doesn't just give you a pat on the back and say, "Good job." It gives you a hard number, a 7.1 out of 9, for example. And then, this is the cool part. It translates that score into the systems you already know and care about, like the official scales for IELTS or TOEFL. It's basically taking something that feels super subjective, how well you speak, and trying to make it objective.
All right, so theory is one thing, but how does this AI actually perform in the wild, against a human? Well, a really fascinating study put them head-to-head. They took a group of Indonesian students who were getting ready for the super high-stakes IELTS speaking exam and had them practice with both a real, live human tutor and the AI tool Speechace. Let's see what happened. So first up, the actual experience of practicing. And right away, you see some big differences. With the human tutor, the students said it felt way more like the real test. It was dynamic, unpredictable. But the AI, its big win was convenience and comfort. You could practice at 2 a.m. in your pajamas if you wanted to. And a lot of students said it was just way less stressful than practicing in front of an actual person. Okay, so what about the scores, the feedback they got? This is where things get really interesting. On one hand, the students loved the AI's speed. You get instant, consistent results. It's pure data you can use to track your progress. But, and this is a big but, over 80% of them felt the human tutor score was more accurate. Why? Because a person can pick up on context, on nuance, and give feedback that's tailored just for you.
And this quote from one of the students just nails it. They said, "The speed and accuracy of the results make me feel more comfortable in preparing for the speaking exam." See? That's the AI's superpower right there. It's a confidence machine. Getting that immediate, data-driven score takes some of the fear and mystery out of preparing for a big test. Okay, so we've got two very different tools here, right? Each with its own strengths. So when it came down to it, when it was about getting the feedback that actually helps you improve, what did the students want? What was the final verdict?
And here's the kicker. It wasn't about choosing one over the other. Listen to this quote from that same student. "I really like both because using them together helps improve the speaking section more effectively." Boom! It was never a competition. For the learners, it was always about creating a partnership.
And this summary just lays it all out so clearly. Look at the AI's strengths: speed, objectivity. It even gives you a perfect transcript so you can see your mistakes. Now look at the human strengths: nuance, personalization, context. They're not doing the same job. They're two different tools for two different parts of the problem. They complete each other.
But that leads to a deeper question, doesn't it? Why is there a gap? I mean, why can't we just program an AI to do all that nuanced human stuff too? What is it fundamentally that separates the code from a real conversation?
Well, the answer has a fancy name: sociopragmatic competence. But don't worry, the idea is pretty simple. It's not about knowing the right words or grammar. It's about knowing how to use those words in a way that's socially and culturally appropriate for that specific moment. It's about reading the room, understanding what the other person is thinking and feeling, and adjusting what you say accordingly. So here's the deal. An AI is awesome at the first part, what's called pragmalinguistics. It can learn to say, "Could you please?" because that's a pattern it sees over and over in its data. But it really struggles with the sociopragmatic side of things, that messy, unpredictable human part. It can't adapt to the natural flow of a conversation or really guess what you're thinking because, well, it's never actually lived a social life.
It's all data, no experience.
Okay, so this all brings us to the big takeaway, the practical part. Knowing all this, how can we, students and teachers, actually use these tools to build the ultimate learning plan? What does the future of speaking practice actually look like?
It all points to what you could call a powerful hybrid model. Here's how it works. Step 1. You use the AI for the daily grind. Do those drills, build your confidence, get that raw data on your pronunciation and fluency. Step 2. You take that data and review it to spot your patterns. Then, Step 3. You bring that analysis to your human tutor who can give you that deep, personalized feedback the AI misses. And finally, Step 4. You practice your real-world conversation skills with another human.
So, you see, it's a total shift in how we should think about this. The whole AI versus human debate, it's the wrong question. The real future, the real breakthrough for both learners and teachers is AI plus human. It's about taking the best of both worlds to build a way to learn that's smarter, less scary, and just flat out better.
And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. As these AI tools keep getting more and more human-like, what is that one part of teaching, that uniquely human spark of connection and understanding that will always be irreplaceable?